Marcus Aurelius on control and acceptance. You are wasting your life worrying about things you cannot control. And the tragedy is, you already know this. You've heard it 1,000 times, but you still do it every single day. Marcus Aurelius understood something most people never accept. The only thing you truly control is your response to what happens. Everything else is chaos pretending to be order. You don't control the weather. You don't control the economy. You don't control whether people like you. You don't control if you get sick. You don't control if someone betrays you. You don't control 99% of what happens in your life. But you waste 99% of your energy trying to control it anyway. And here's the cost. Every moment spent trying to control the uncontrollable is a moment stolen from controlling what actually matters. Your thoughts, your reactions, your character, the only territory you actually govern. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world, emperor of Rome, commander of armies, authority over millions. And yet, in his private writings, the ones never meant for publication, he constantly reminds himself of one thing. Even he controls almost nothing. Think about that. The emperor of the largest empire on earth, writing to himself at night, reminding himself not to be disturbed by things outside his control. If he needed that reminder, what makes you think you don't? Here's the pattern that destroys people. Something bad happens. They react emotionally. They spiral into anxiety, anger, fear. They obsess over it. They create elaborate fantasies about how it could have been prevented. They replay it endlessly in their mind. And in doing all of this, they take one bad event and turn it into 100 bad experiences by reliving it constantly. Marcus would say, the event happened once. You suffered it once. Everything after that is optional. Every time you replay it, every time you get angry about it again, every time you let it disturb your peace, that's you choosing to suffer, not the event, you. This is the power no one teaches you. You cannot control what happens to you, but you absolutely control what it means. The same event can destroy one person and forge another, not because the event is different, but because their interpretation is different. Someone insults you. One response, they've hurt me, they're terrible, I'm a victim. Another response, they're suffering. Hurt people, this says nothing about me. Same insult, completely different reality. Someone betrays you. One response, I can never trust anyone again. People are evil. Another response, I trusted the wrong person. That's information. I'll be wiser next time. Same betrayal, completely different future. You lose your job. One response, my life is over. I'm worthless. Another response, this closes one door and opens others I couldn't see before. Same job loss, completely different trajectory. Marcus Aurelius would tell you, external events are neutral. They have no inherent meaning. You assign the meaning. And whatever meaning you assign becomes your experience of reality. So if you assign catastrophe, you live in catastrophe. If you assign opportunity, you live in opportunity. The universe doesn't care which you choose, but your life is shaped entirely by which you choose. Now, here's where it gets practical. Most people hear this philosophy and think it's about being passive, just accepting everything, never fighting back, never trying to change things. That's not what Marcus meant. He led armies. He made decisions. He fought wars and governed an empire. He wasn't passive. The Stoic distinction is this: act decisively on what you can control. Accept completely what you cannot. The disaster is when you confuse the two. You can control your effort. You cannot control the outcome. So give maximum effort and release attachment to results. You can control your preparation. you cannot control if opportunity arrives, so prepare thoroughly and stay ready without demanding timing. You can control your integrity. You cannot control if others recognize it, so be who you are regardless of acknowledgement. This is freedom. Not the freedom to control everything, that's the fantasy that enslaves you, but the freedom to be unshaken by anything, because your peace doesn't depend on external conditions. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength."
That sentence should be tattooed on everyone's soul, because most people spend their entire lives trying to rearrange the external world so they can finally feel okay internally. It doesn't work. It has never worked. It will never work. The weather will not cooperate with your plans. People will not behave the way you want. The economy will not stabilize for your convenience. Your body will age. Your possessions will decay. Everyone you love will die. And trying to prevent any of this is not strength, it's delusion. Strength is this: let it rain. I cannot stop it, but I can choose not to be miserable about rain. Let them betray me. I cannot control them, but I can choose not to become bitter. Let the business fail. I cannot guarantee success, but I can choose to learn and rebuild. This is the Stoic superpower, the ability to experience loss without being destroyed by it, to face hardship without losing yourself in it, to be disappointed without becoming cynical, to hurt without making that hurt your identity. And here's what people miss. This doesn't make you cold, it makes you resilient. The person who falls apart every time something goes wrong is not more compassionate than the Stoic. They're just more fragile, and fragility helps no one. Marcus buried children. He lost friends. He dealt with plague, war, betrayal, and constant political threats. And through all of it, he maintained his center. Not because he didn't feel, but because he refused to let what he felt dictate what he became.
There's a massive difference between feeling sadness and becoming a sad person, feeling anger and becoming an angry person, feeling fear and becoming a fearful person. The emotion is temporary, the identity is permanent, and most people don't know where one ends and the other begins. So they feel anger once and decide, I'm an angry person. They feel anxiety once and decide, I have an anxiety disorder. They experience sadness once and decide, I'm depressed. And in making that decision, they trap themselves in an identity that started as just a temporary state. Marcus would say, observe the emotion, don't become it. I notice I'm feeling angry is very different from I am angry. One keeps you separate, the other merges you with it, and whatever you merge with controls you. Here's the practice. When something disturbs you, ask yourself Marcus's question, is this something I can control? If yes, act immediately. If no, accept immediately. Don't waste a single second in the gray area where you pretend you have control, but actually don't. That gray area is where all unnecessary suffering lives. Someone spreads lies about you. Can you control their words? No. Can you control your response? Yes. Can you control your character? Yes. Can you control who believes them? No. So act on what you control, your integrity, your response, your character. Release everything else. You get diagnosed with illness. Can you control that you have it? No. Can you control your treatment decisions? Yes. Can you control your attitude? Yes. Can you control the outcome? No. So act on treatment and attitude. Release the outcome. Your business partner quits. Can you control their decision? No. Can you control your next move? Yes. Can you control what you learn from this? Yes. Can you control if the business survives? Not entirely. So act on the next move and the lesson. Release the guarantee of survival. This is how you stop being a victim of circumstances. Not by controlling circumstances, you can't, but by refusing to let circumstances control you.
And yes, this is hard. Marcus never said it was easy, he said it was necessary. Because the alternative is to be perpetually disturbed by a world that was never designed for your comfort. The universe is indifferent. Nature is neutral. Reality doesn't negotiate. And you can spend your life angry about that, or you can accept it and become free. Marcus chose freedom. He chose to stop arguing with reality. He chose to stop demanding that life be fair. He chose to stop expecting people to meet his standards. And in that choice, he found a peace that power could never give him. Because here's the final truth. Control is an illusion. Always has been. You never controlled as much as you thought you did. Every plan you made that worked, 1,000 variables you never considered could have destroyed it. Every relationship that lasted, 1,000 moments of choice by someone else kept it alive. Every success you achieved, luck and timing played a bigger role than you want to admit. You are not the master of your fate in the way you imagine. You are a participant in chaos, doing your best with incomplete information, limited power, and no guarantees. And once you accept that, truly accept it, you stop wasting energy on impossible battles. You stop trying to force outcomes. You stop needing certainty. You stop requiring the universe to make sense. Instead, you do this. You control your effort, your character, your response. You act with integrity regardless of results. You show up fully regardless of recognition. You do what's right regardless of reward. And you let everything else go. Not because you don't care, but because caring about what you cannot control is the fastest way to destroy yourself. Marcus Aurelius ruled the world, and the most important thing he learned was that ruling the world is nothing compared to ruling yourself. External power is fleeting. Internal power is permanent. External peace depends on circumstances. Internal peace depends on understanding. And the understanding is this: you control almost nothing, but the almost nothing you do control is everything that actually matters. So stop trying to control the storm. You can't. Start controlling how you stand in it. That you can do. And that is enough.